Hello, friends and colleagues. Welcome to this special collection of reflections from our Reframe for Resilience podcast. What you're about to hear are brief, powerful moments from our guests. These are leaders, change agents, and everyday people who have faced challenges, asked hard questions, and chosen growth. In the circle of inclusion, we are reminded that inclusion isn't just about being present. It's about being seen, heard, and valued. These stories ask us to consider who's truly listening, and how do we hold space for voices that have too often been overlooked. In equity, in leadership and education, our guests challenge the idea that fairness means sameness. They invite us to recognize that not everyone starts at the same place, and that true leadership removes barriers so that everyone has the chance to thrive. In Growth Through Reflection, we hear how adversity, uncertainty, and even pain can become pathways to transformation. These are not stories of perfection, but of honesty, courage, and the willingness to reframe the moment in order to lead from a place of purpose. As you listen, I invite you to reflect on your own story and how your challenges might carry the seeds of your own strength. And if something resonates, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs encouragement. Start a conversation. Be the person who creates space for inclusion, equity, and growth. That's how we begin to reframe for resilience. Not just for ourselves, but for others.
Or have you not found the ones who have been assigned to your voice?
I like that. Have you not found the ones who have been assigned to your voice?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the people who will hear some of the voices that are presently being snuffed out?
So that's an excellent question. And I think it encompasses a few things that we've talked about, right? About not reacting out of emotion. I think that the noise is doing what the noise was designed to do, right? To knock us off our square, to keep us operating in chaos, right? And so it would appear that no one is listening, if you are one that has a voice, right? And so it's not operating. And so the trick is to not operate out of emotion, to be steadfast, to be steady in your step, to be certain of what it is that you have been called to say, what you have been called to speak about, right? And I think it is an attraction. Those that have been assigned to you will come and will hear, and it will be effective.
Ms. Tolliver, thank you very much.
And I really cannot find a better definition of belonging. So it's very also important to find an employer where you can feel you can belong. Everyone ultimately, although it may be expressed in different ways across culture, everybody wants to find a place they can feel they belong to. There is no, therefore, one answer that can fit all organizations. In our organization, we are, to my point earlier, in the spirits industry, we are bringing people together around a table with a beautiful cocktail in their hands, celebrating life. So we are in the business of enjoying togetherness. And in fact, we are approaching the whole thing from an equity and inclusion lens, saying that ultimately we want to create a space where we lift each other's up and we work for each other's success. And I really cannot find a better definition of belonging. I mean, think about it. You enter into a room surrounded by your colleagues, and you're feeling in that room all the positive energies that are coming from knowing that those people are enjoying seeing you succeeding, that are there for you, for your success. And then, of course, this starts from you and being there for the success of your colleagues, because that's a virtual circle. Whereas ultimately, the ultimate goal is for having a nurturing environment where everybody feels they belong.
And final question, does the sharing of these stories help to build resilience in the team?
It does. I have seen that transformation, especially if we're feeling lonely, disconnected, or in my case, as I know I have done, feeling like we have to wear the professional mask of perfectionism all the time, because that is stressful. And so when we can start to share our stories, that comes to connection and compassion, it allows us to then have the courage and vulnerability to say, I might need a little bit of extra help today. Something has happened. I'm either unsure about what's being asked, maybe something has happened in my personal life, and therefore we have some more give and take. Because if I need your help this week, Dr. Frank, I can guarantee that next week or next month, those tables will return and I will be helping and supporting you as you navigate one of those hiccups that happen to all of us.
So I realized, this whole journey, I actually suffered in silence. This whole episode that we started with, I did not speak up. I did not say anything. I kept all my emotions bottled up, and I'm saying, no, I have to present myself in a certain way, and it needs to come out like that, right? And when I talked to majority of them, they were all predominantly mid-aged women. And they kept talking about this menopause, perimenopause. That kept coming up, like most of the discussions. And that similarly triggered my, experience that I had earlier. And I'm like, these women are also suffered the same way I did. And it had nothing to do with the cultural subservience that I was raised as. There were all kind of women, unbelievable. It didn't matter. Whether it was a Caucasian woman or an Indian woman or Latino or whatever, they all had the same thing. They all suffered in silence. So that's when epiphany came to me, like, hey, if there is something I want to do now in my life, I want to go deeper into this and bring this topic to light. It's not just hot flashes and night sweats. That's not what it is.
Well, thank you for that. As you began to speak, it reminded me of Dr. Martin Luther King's famous speech in his march in Washington, in which he said that he hoped one day that his children would be judged by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You just gave me chills. I've never been referenced or aligned to that speech, but yes, thank you so much. That is definitely a part of my perspective. I believe in that 100%. Content of their character, who they are, what they bring to the table, and not what you see, from the amount of melanin or in someone's skin. Yes.
Yes. And so tell me a bit about accountability for your inclusiveness.
Yes. Wow. Accountability. My belief is that we all have a level of accountability to create inclusive environments wherever we are.
And without divulging, too much detail, because we wouldn't have that many situations like this. Because we were able to creatively allow that employee to have more time for that grief space and more tools to be able to bounce back, it sent the signal to other employees that we really do care when our employees are experiencing trauma, when they're experiencing grief, when they're experiencing hard vicissitudes of life, that there are opportunities for us to demonstrate how we really do care. Mm-hmm. Opportunities rise when leaders say, I see you, I value you, I hear you. I'm not maybe akin to your experience, but I can imagine what that experience is for you. Here's how we're going to craft a situation where you feel that you have the emotional safety and psychological safety to stop or to have respite. And I think that sent waves of influence to other employees in that group, in that unit, about what leadership should do and is willing to do.
Our founder took the buyout from Ford. He started the company in his basement. And once we started getting calls from Latin America, we went to a local mall here, and his mother-in-law heard a young lady with a Spanish accent, and invited her into the basement to answer calls that our founder couldn't hear. And so because of her yes to take those calls, we expanded to, at one time, 16 global offices. And so I reminded our company of where we started. We started including people. We started making sure that when you did a service for us, that you were justly compensated. If you look at our wall of fame with all of our top earners in our company, you'll see our target market, which is 30 to 40-year-old African-American women and 30 to 40-year-old Hispanic American women.
The other thing that we do, or that I do specifically in the area of coaching, is getting people to really take a look at the world through that lens that they have. Not what somebody else is doing, not what somebody else says, not what someone else thinks, but looking at the world through their lens. And what I mean by that, their experiences, their perspectives, their viewpoints, and everything else that has shaped them into who they are today, because everybody's different. And so someone may think this of you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is you. And then last but not least, the last piece that we really focus on when it comes to coaching is really helping people to understand that they have what it takes to get it done. Everybody has goals, dreams, and aspirations in this life. Every one of us do. Oftentimes they get derailed. Sometimes the obstacle is just too big for us to overcome. And other times people just talk us out of it. But we help everyone realize that that goal, dream, and aspiration is definitely achievable. So let's keep you laser focused on exactly what the desired outcome is.
If something resonates, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs encouragement. Start a conversation. Be the person who creates space for inclusion, equity, and growth. That's how we begin to reframe for resilience, not just for ourselves, but for others.